Hey everyone, welcome back. A couple minutes early here. I'm just getting some things prepped, so this will make sense as I start to get things going here, but I got a train right here that I need to actually run as if it's going to approach the yard from the, I guess that'd be the west end. So for you early birds, you'll get to see this. This is really just me staging things right now, but I guess it technically is a train, so there it goes. We got kind of a weird Canadian style train here once again because right now I don't have a ton of cars. I actually have more than I did a few months ago, but I've been buying and selling, so it kind of fluctuates when I'm in the middle of that cycle. But so I'm doing sort of a combo train here with some intermodal cars at the end. But we're gonna run this guy back behind us into the staging room and just have it wait, and then we're gonna do some switching, and then this manifest will continue on its way upgrade. So as more people get on the stream here, I'll explain fully what we're doing, and then we'll jump right into it. So just give me a few minutes like usual. Ask questions, settle in, whatever, and then we'll get to it. So we're gonna run, here's some power in the engine facility. We're gonna use this consist here. We've got a Tier 4 Gevo up front, Heritage 2 SD70 Mac, and Dash 9 back here. Here's our switch power for today. And then, oh sweet. Yeah, I was curious about that Athearn release. I forgot about that. And then here's our yard. So, what time is it? All right, just about 9 o'clock now. It looks like we've got a pretty good crowd going. So now that you're all here, let me explain what we're doing. This is just an operating scheme. We're gonna look at the life of a manifest train. Right now I have one waiting back behind in the staging room. It's gonna roll out here into the yard as if it's arriving, and then we're going to move some cars around in these bowl tracks here. You'll see I don't have that many cars to move around, but these are gonna be 2 blocks of cars that we're going to drop off at Newport Junction, which is all the industry area over there, and then up at Crawford here. So this is thanks to Carl, who some of you probably know as a 68 Jaguar 420G. So he suggested that I do this this sort of operating scheme, so that's what we're going to work on tonight. We'll get a little bit of switching first out here, and then we'll have the manifest freight climb all the way up the grade, and then it'll end up in the upper staging room once it crests the grade at Belmont, and we'll also get some helper operations going as well. So really quick, let me show you what we've got waiting back in the staging room. I just showed you the power that we'll be putting on. And back in this messy room, you'll see I have the train waiting on our I guess it's sort of like an approach track. This is technically the reverse loop. So we got some foreign power on the front end. We're going to drop that off and leave it at the engine facility. And then we'll tack on some cars to the head end of the train. I need to drop off a set of well cars in the yard as well, which is more functional than anything, just because I'm worried that they're going to get pushed off the track if I have helpers on the end. But anyway. The heck? Let us get started then. Yeah, I got a CN Tier 4 on the other locomotive. And hold on, I'm going to set you down. I got to check something real quick. Alright, so once again, here's the deal. We're going to build a manifest freight here. Not entirely from scratch. We're just going to block some cars. You'll see I have some cars right here. The 3 grain cars you see will be heading up to Crawford, up above. So I'm going to put those at the front of our manifest freight. And then the box cars as well as the tank car, those need to go just behind it because we're going to drop those off at the industrial area. So I'm also going to tack on a DPU just because we're going to be parking the train on some grades, and since we don't have air brakes or anything like that on these trains, I need a way to hold the train from rolling back down as we cut cars from the head end. So let us go ahead and get started here. Once again, we're going to use this SD40-2 here as our switching power. It does not have sound or lights right now. That's a project that needs to happen at some point, so nothing too exciting, but let us get started. I don't know where to put you guys. I'll try to make this viewer friendly. Alright, where are we? Oh, sorry guys. Alright, we'll try to get this view going. I gotta think about this real quick because I want the grain cars at the head end, so alright. Oh. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to try to not move you guys around too much. Hopefully you can see what's going on. I'll try to answer any questions. But once again, we're just going to build a manifest here, so I need to sort these cars here. Again, not that many, but those will be blocked out and then set out at a couple interchange points. And then the manifest will just be running the main line today for the most part. Yeah, so the manifest train over here, we got scale trains Tier 4 in Norfolk Southern as well as Canadian National. So the Norfolk Southern locomotive is the first run, and Canadian National is the third run from scale trains. And I also saw someone asked about what track I use. I use Atlas Code 83, as someone pointed out. And then the size of the layout is 28 feet by 12 feet. And that's the maximum width and length, but it gets tighter in a couple areas. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Oh my god. Bad. I've kind of forgotten how terrible Atlas couplers are. Alright, so we're just gonna put that down there. I'm gonna take another break one more time. I know some of you have already heard this. I just want to explain for everyone who's joining us now what we're doing. So I just sorted out a couple blocks of cars. I have them in order now. See that we have 3 grain cars here at the see just in the background. Just rolled into town. For the most part, it's a through freight. We're just going to keep all the cars on here, except for a few intermodal cars at the end I want to drop off. These 3 grain cars, then, those are going to be taken all the way up the grade and dropped at our interchange track here in Crawford. And then the 4 cars behind it, so the tank car and those 3 box cars, will go on the other side of the peninsula here in the industry area, and those will service the brewery, among other things. So then once we get up the grade a bit, we're going to attach some helper power here in Crawford, and then we're also going to swap power on this manifest freight right now. I'm also going to add a DPU, and we'll see how it goes. I've got some intermodal empties on the end, which is always a terrible idea, but whatever. I just feel like it's more likely that BNSF would tag on some empties rather than single stack. Although, is it out of focus? Alright, so just give me a second. I gotta swap the power here. But first, I need to move. I've got my other consist in the way, so just a second. Ooh, that is close. All right, so now we're gonna drop this power off, and we'll switch it. Oh. All right, so now we're going to grab this consist here, and that will be our power for the train. But I actually want to drop off the this trailing unit here is actually going to be our DPU, so I got to drop it off first. But really, before I do that, I forgot I should tack on that cut of cars. It's good to move these. I'm just going to park these in the middle track here, just temporarily, getting them in location. And I really need to add those 7 cars there first with our switcher, which is what I was doing, and I forgot about that. So there is that guy. All right. Yeah, Carl, I've got the last 4 cars in that little block there. I plan on dropping. I just didn't want to drop too much just so we have a significant freight. In reality, I think St. Paul could definitely handle more cars, which is why sometimes I think it'd be fun to run a dedicated local, but for a little interchange action with the manifest, I'm just gonna leave those 4, and then the 3 grain cars I'll leave on the interchange track, although they will eventually go on the grain spur. I guess I could do either, but we'll pretend that the local railroad, which has changed hands a number of times. I can't remember who it is now. I think it's Nebraska Northwestern. I think they would handle those duties. Sorry here, guys. So another thing I'm thinking of doing as well, as I back this up, is if you can see the 3 turnouts there, those are for our arrival departure tracks. What you notice right now is that if I want to back these cars from the classification or the bowl tracks into our arrival departure, I have to bring them clear out here and clear this turnout. What I think I need to do is, this turnout's fine because we need to get back and forth between the lead, the engine facility, which is right there, and the classification tracks, but I think it'd be very useful, and I'm still sort of in the preliminary stages of track arrangement here, but to have a little crossover in this section, if you know what I mean, so that if we're pulling cars out of those bowl tracks like I just did, the only turnout we're going to have to clear is this one here. So that saves me that space right there, is what I could get. Oh, my bad. So I don't know if that made sense, but that's what I'm thinking about doing. That'll just give me a little more capacity to pull cars out. Just a couple more options. It doesn't really help me at all if I'm moving cars around in the bull tracks, but once I want to pull them out and move between the 2 sections of the yard, I think that'll help me. Oh. Oh boy. It's these Atlas couplers, man, they don't work. Ah, sorry about that. Don't know what froze. Yeah, don't worry, Dennis. We're just getting started here. I just did some switching in the yard, tacked on some cars. I'd actually now need to drop off some cars on the rear end, add a DPU, and then we should be on our way. So plenty of work still to do here. And of course, per usual, I'm gonna have to go grab my phone charger in a second. Yeah, and I really do need to standardize the couplers. I haven't done it yet. I haven't stuck with the set of cars I have for long enough. But that's a really easy investment that I should do. I actually like the Scale Trains couplers. I know a lot of people complain. It's just they don't like to work with other couplers very well. And I don't like Atlas couplers. And right now I have some Atlas AccuMates or whatever they're called and Scale Trains right next to each other. And they absolutely hate each other. Actually, what am I doing? Gotta leave the camera right here. Alright. So now, gonna pull our power out, and once again I'm gonna drop that trailing unit, because I want that to be our DPU. I just can't see it right now, so I gotta get the coupler out. Good help. Program. Edit. We're gonna drop this guy, remove from consist, save. I tried so hard, but I don't care. Alright, so now we got our head end power hooked up. I'm going to bring us to the other end of the yard. We're going to pull out here. And then there's actually some well cars down here that I want to cut off. And we'll drop those in the yard, add our DPU, and then we'll finally be on our way half an hour later. So here we go. I've got some of those new Athearn Maxi 1, just one set of those well cars, but they're really light, and I want to tack on a DPU, and then we'll add some helpers too. And even though I have my locomotives finally programmed really well, they work well in consist and in DPU. I just don't want those cars to hop off the track. So we'll just pull forward here a little bit. Once they get in view, we'll drop those and then tack on our DPU. Yeah, I actually like the McHenrys. I know people complain about them, and they do suck sometimes. I've actually had some break before, but I like the element of the unknown. Like, I feel like there should be a limit to how many cars you can run on a really steep grade, just like on the real railroads. So if one breaks occasionally, I'm not too upset. And I think they're pretty realistic looking. But Katie has really good couplers, and I like the I can't remember what I'm using. On my locomotives, I have I don't know what number it is, but the SF shelf couplers, and then you can turn them into F-type couplers, like you see on BNSF by cutting off the top shelf. So I have that on most of my BNSF units to be as realistic as possible. Of course, if I wanted ultimate realism, I'd go with Surgeon scale couplers, but maybe someday, but not yet. So let me drop these guys. Alright, so I'm going to leave those maxi ones there, and I haven't done the paperwork on this train, so I don't know like where we should or could put our DPU, but we're going to attempt it anyway, and we're not going to cut it in. I just want to try it on the end, see how that works. It's a very Canadian style train we've got here with some well cars on there. And once again, the only reason I'm doing that is just because we don't have a super long train as it is, and we'll be dropping off some cars, so I just want it to look fairly realistic. But I'm hoping everything will run fine with the DPU. I guess I should have sent the DPU to the other end of the yard, but wasn't really thinking about that, so it's okay. That would help. Alright, so here's our DPU, hooked up to some well cars, which seems like a really terrible idea. And then we got that running up. You see the head end of the train is already well out on the main line here. Let me set you down for like 20 seconds here, guys. I gotta go grab the charger because YouTube eats through a ton of battery. So just a second. Leave you right there. Don't go anywhere. Alright, I'm back, guys. Oh. Okay, just a second. All right. And here we go. Wow, I already forgot to drop off the cars. Just realized that. I forgot the whole point of this was to drop off those cars. So pretend like that didn't happen. Let's go back in time 10 minutes ago. In my mind, I was thinking about like when I had to move the tripod. I was like, do I park the car or the train in staging? And as I was thinking about that, I totally forgot. That's okay though. Well, I went upstairs and grabbed some chicken, so I don't know. I got distracted and totally forgot that we built this train for a specific reason. Sorry about that. Just having fun though, so we'll bring it back. I knew, I did remember that we were gonna stop in Crawford. I just forgot we were stopping here in St. Paul. Okay. Well, now you get to see the train go by twice, so that's cool. I know. This is how people get killed. Alright. So now we'll do it like I wanted to. Alright. I swear, nothing goes right the first time. I'm gonna have to, I know. This is a poor excuse too, the chicken, but I don't know, I came down here in a rush. I was like, oh, I don't want them to wait around too long, so. Okay. I might do this again next week too, just mix it up with the power, and we'll try to do it correctly, but we should be good from here on out. Let me find my uncoupling tool. Alright. What I am going to remember is to deconsist the DPU, which would be smart. Otherwise, that's not going to be much help. So, move from consist, save. Alright, here we go. So we got 4 cars to drop off here. Alright. What? Oh, I think I was only, yeah, it's okay. In my mind, I only blocked the 4 cars, but I wanted to drop off the 5. So. It was 4 that I switched here, these 4, and then this was already at the front of the train, so I wanted the 2 plate F box cars to be together there. Alright, so there's our cut right there. I don't want to get fancy with it. I assume we'll just leave it there on the siding / interchange track, and somebody else will deal with that. And now we got to go hook up to our train once again, and then not forget about our drop-offs in Crawford. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. I didn't see who was leaving, but I appreciate you hanging out. Okay, really quick, someone just asked about the ESU system. So this is what I'm using. It's the ESU cab control system. This is the Mobile 2 throttle, and it is really awesome, I have to say. I'm actually going to work tonight after the live stream. I'm going to do a video reviewing the system. I've had it for like 1.5 years now, and I actually started the review of it the day I got it, but just never finished it. So I'm finally going to get around to that. It's a really great system. It's super ergonomic. If you go back and watch earlier when I was doing the switching in the yard, everything I was doing I could just do with my left hand. Didn't have to use both hands if I didn't want to. So super easy. And it's really easy too to set up consist. So like for example, I had to drop the DPU. So this is our consist. I just named it something random. So I went over here, edit consist, and then I can really easily on the fly decide which locomotives to drop off and then which direction they go. So when we add our helpers, I'm going to do the same thing. Although eventually the plan is to have manned helper operations where there would be someone else using a separate throttle. But for tonight, it's just me, so that's what we'll be doing. Yeah, I should bring some chicken down. Okay, so now we're back off. We have our train all put back together. What the heck? You guys seeing any visuals? This happened last week too, and I'm about to get upset because I don't see the train moving. Is the screen frozen, guys? It is on my end. What the heck, YouTube? No, I've parked it now. I assume you guys can you hear me? Okay. Welp. This happened last week too, and I don't know what the deal is. Okay, what the shit?